Welcome to the Mulligan Menace, and I have a fun one for you today. This is Ugin Eldrazi. It's going to be a mono blue Eldrazi, but you're mostly going to have artifacts in this deck. The whole deck, I played a couple different iterations of this, just testing it out, and I wanted to really test out this card Mirrorform. And you're going to see this, just how well this card works in a deck like this. The whole idea is that you're basically going to get big threats on the board in the form of something like a Sire of the Seven Deaths, or Hivepool, and then create duplicates of it. You have Mirrorform, and you also have Season of Weaving, which allows you to duplicate artifact or creatures. So you can make multiple copies of both of those. And you're actually going to see in one game, I have 11 copies of the Hivepool at one point, which is just insane. So the deck, we have a little bit of graveyard hate with the Soul Guide Lantern. This obviously helps you get rid of some of those graveyard decks. The nice thing about this is you can find it with the Ugin, as well as it triggering the Ugin for its discard, or for the getting rid of target permanent, which is nice. Unauthorized exit, really handy card because you can actually do this on your own cards as well, your own permanents. So if they try to get rid of your Hivepool or something, you can actually bounce it back to your hand. It also really works good when they're trying to ramp outs. You can just kind of slow them down enough that you get your you can accelerate your own gameplay enough where you can handle those things. Ironcrag, just a classic ramp. Wayfinder, I have this in here for a couple different reasons. One, it's an early blocker, which is really handy if you need to stop taking damage early on while you kind of build your board. Two, it's a shapeshifter, which means it makes the Hivepool cheaper. And three, it also finds that land you need. So a lot of times, by that third land, after you get that third land drop, you're could be possibly missing some land. This just assures that you're going to find it by having it in there. Core, if you're going to have a Hivepool, make sure you have core in your deck. 3 casting cost, it allows you to ramp. It also counts as a sliver as well. Same thing as the Wayfinder, so you have 2 slivers there. Aetherize, this is huge. If they overload the board and then they attack in, you can just bounce all their creatures. Really awesome spell. A lot of times they don't expect it. If they expect it, a good player will actually play around it. You'll see in my games, there's two different players that one didn't play around it at all, and you could see what happens, and then one completely played around it, and you can see how the games differed greatly with that. Legend of Kurik. This card is pretty awesome because one, you can get your scries and draws going on here. It does turn into a creature, so you actually have a creature that you can attack in with, which is awesome. It also creates a 1/1 when it converts over. That leaves multiple bodies, but remember, if there's multiple permanents on the board, they all get triggered with Mirrorform. So that can be killer having that do that. So when that triggers, that actually was one way that I was able to get so many Hivepools, was that triggered off on number 3 there. Hedron, we have the ramp for that. Season Weaving is just fantastic for drawing. I think I've used every mode in the games here. Even if you got nothing going on, you can always just cast it. It's a 6 casting cost, draw 5, which is just awesome. Otherwise, returning all non-land permanents can save your butt a lot of times in that situation. Just think of all the decks that if you could return, it's fantastic. And in a lot of situations, people will have Shelter with Ghost, or they have the artifacts that can exile your artifact until that artifact leaves play, or exile your cards until it leaves play. This takes care of all that by ramping it back to their hand, which means they got to replay everything, which means you get a turn. So if they did it to your Ugin, you can now activate your Ugin, do whatever you want with that. Or if it was a Sire, they have to pay a fee again to target it. Just a lot of different, uses there. Otherwise, we have the Vestige. Vestige works really well in this deck. You can do that Warp 4. There is a ton of cards here that you can get with it. Obviously, Archive's a big hit. Legend's a big hit. Core, Wayfinder, even Ironcrag's a good hit for that. A lot of different things. And that's just on turn 4 with 4 mana, or 4 lands, I should say. Otherwise, it works, obviously, with other things like Hivepool, 7 Deaths, Ugin, if you have more land in play. Playing a couple different things here. We got 4 Cavern of Souls here. You can target it with Eldrazi, which basically makes it so you can't counter both of your big creatures here, which is really nice. We are playing 2 Conduits, since we really don't need that much blue in this deck. The ability to surveil is huge, but it also come in untapped is really nice as well. The surveil ability works fun. I originally had these in here because I was running the planetarium and testing that out, but I actually liked how they played in the deck enough that I kept them here, even though I dropped the planetarium from the rotation here. But all in all, fun deck. Please hit the subscribe button below. I post daily deck videos. Also, if you could like the video, that helps out. And let's get into gameplay. All right, we'll start with this one. We have the ramp into Ugin, which is what we're looking for. Nice draw spell as well. What are we playing against? Spell deck. Okay, tapped. We can get our mana down now. Synthesizer. All right. You can destroy that with Ugin. I do expect them to have removal for the Ugin, but that's okay. Archive. Not the worst.
Focus, breathe, and learn.
Spell Snare. Interesting. Why they would go after that? I have no idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy about it. I'll do this first. It actually allows us to do multiple things. Into that. We're going to keep that on top so we can draw that and do more removal next turn. Another Ugin is fantastic. Okay, they're going to snare our Ugin, I'm guessing. Oh, wow. Mirrorform is going to be awesome. Yeah, we'll do that. I think we just leave that on top. We get this down. Short of them snaring that. Get another one of these down as well. Do that. Just because we can get creative then with the spell snare. If we had one more land, we could have just Mirrorformed that turn. Okay, we're in really good shape to Mirrorform here. Decline that. That's a pretty good one on top. Guess we could move the land down. We want to keep, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means we have 4 left over. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we'll do this. Do that. Just to get another 2 permanents in play. Take action. Because this can be a real beating then for that Mirrorform, if we can get that to go through. Okay, Mirrorform. Is that enough thrumming hive pools? "22 slivers." GG. All right, we go first on this one. We'll keep. Want to get this changeling down, get an extra land. Hopefully we get something else that we can warp in. Okay, Moon Shadow. Another Moon Shadow. Not good. Alright, that's not the worst for us. I think we just do this to ramp. No attacks. Go with Eldrazi. We can cast Season of Weaving next turn if we wanted to. Don't think that's necessarily appropriate, but they are starting to come in for some damage here. I think instead we could just get a Vestige out. Alright. The 6 mana, so we're not going to get anything else out. And we can bounce everything. Maybe that's the play. And then we can follow it up with an Ugin. So let's do... We can do Cavern and then Ugin. Okay, that's an interesting one. Moon Shadow. Okay. Moon Shadow. Okay. We got 7. We can Ugin, which will kill that. Can do that. I can cast that. Get rid of one of those.
Fate flows as easily.
All right. I think we're in pretty good shape. We got a ton of colorless spells in our hand. We even got one in our exile. Okay. Okay, bringing stuff back here. They'll get a duplicate of that. We need to get rid of that diviner. Ward 2 on those too. I mean, we could cast. So what we got 5, 6, 7, 8. 4. Back up to 6.
Do not bring chaos here.
6. I guess we can only do 2. These have. Okay. All right, how do we want to handle this? We're at 11. Kind of need a draw, to be honest with you. Let's do this first. I'm going to slow them down slightly. 5, 6. We got 6 more. 4, 5, 6, 7. We can get rid of one of the flyers. Maybe we do this. See what we draw. I ain't doing it.
Open your mind to possibility.
We can cast another one and then plus it. Hold on. Let me view battlefield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, that only gives us 3. We don't have land to drop. And yep, we don't have land to drop. Let's go. We'll warp. We'll go after that one. Wait. Yes, we'll go after that one. Or 2, we'll pay it. We'll get that one. Suppose I should have kept that in hand. We could have used that for removal. Do we have another Ugin? Oh. Didn't even matter anyways. They can tack in for 9 here. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Okay. Don't have the extra land for this. Ooh, that's a nice one. What's Ugin? Go after the shadow. I guess we do the 3. Allows us to do that. Go after this, yes, and then we can pay the 2. We can go for a land too.
In the stratagem.
And they have 1 card in hand. No. All right. We survived the onslaught. Don't have any creature lands. Ooh. Oh, I was just about to do the combo here in the next turn. All right, opponent goes first. This is kind of a wacky hand. We'll try it. We obviously want to cast other stuff. Got lucky we drew our land. We discard one of these. Yep. Got a lot of good cards in our hand. We just need to get up there. We don't have early ramp. Well, that's a shame. Take action. Look at that. We're actually down a land because of that, unfortunately. Not sure about these archways. Okay, Cavern of Souls. Eldrazi. Okay, they're going to consult. Too bad we don't have the forecasting cost one. The one we can warp in for 4. Alright. See your counter spells. Alright, they're going to let us have that. Okay. Might try for a legend here. Either that, or we can also try for ramp. They're going to counter this one. They are. Okay. Can't counter it. Does have the ward to pay 7 life, which is nice, so he needs to sweep it. Okay. Okay, Regent's not going to do it. I mean, he can bounce it and pay 7 life, if that's what he wants to do. Okay, sweep it. That allows us to drop our Ugin. Actually, no, we don't. We're short on land, unfortunately. 5 mana. 6 mana we have here. Four. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't cast both. Let's do this. Planetarium's pretty good. That one we can toss. I want to find more land, obviously. Alright, we might as well do that. See if they counter that. They do. That's fine. I'd rather pull the counter spells out of their hand if we can. Unfortunately, we don't have many options here. We could have tried Ugining, but I didn't want them to counter that. We'll try this. Yep, they have a counter. Okay, they got to be pretty burnt out on the counters now. We can try for Ugin. Otherwise, we can also do a Sire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get the Sire out. They can't counter it. They have to sweep it. Maybe we just do Sire, Ugin. Can actually use the map tokens maybe too, which will be nice. Okay, not too worried about that one. Although they did draw quite a bit, so could have some counters here. Okay, Ugin. Ugin's not going to do anything. They'll gain life. That also means that we got our own Ugin, which is nice. If we draw a land, that is. No, never mind. We have enough for it. We're good. You gonna bounce it? It's interesting that we're playing against basically a mirror match here. Alright, Ugin. Destroy that. We can destroy the rest in peace, but I don't know how much that matters, to be honest with you. You know what we can do? Okay. Plus this. Do the rest in peace. Hope that we can hit this. No. If we could have hit it twice, we could have attacked Ugin and killed his Ugin. So we are still going to go at his Ugin. Another land out. We can kill pretty much anything that comes out as long as our Ugin stays in play. Okay. Never mind. Ugin's not staying in play. Oh, he's going after the Sire. Well, if you can't kill our Ugin, then that doesn't play very well. Oh, there's our Ugin.
This world
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means we can
is vital to success.
warp this in. Eldrazi. Then we can sacrifice the archive. To draw some cards. Put the Sire into play. Okay, we can bounce their Ugin, which is kind of nice. Actually, we can even bounce the exit. Or the iceberg. We don't have blue mana available, unfortunately. Okay.
My plan bears fruit.
Okay, they're doing a stock up. They're 28 cards, we're at 36. Day of Judgment. Draw 2 cards. They do have 3 cards available, so they could have a counterspell. Ooh. Let's try that. Oh, I think we're in. Could have a sweeper, though. That's the only issue. Don't care about that. Fortunately, we do have 2 blue. Good. 1, 2, 4. Well, that's not enough, is it? This might just be the better play. Just get more card draw going. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. Does cost 6, though. Might as well do this while we can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that on top. Okay, Ugin can kill this. That's the route he wants to go. Iceberg can go after Sire.
Insight is vital to success.
Okay. Can bounce that to my hand, that's fine. It was kind of a fun match. So here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would love to have 12 mana. We do have 12 mana. Unfortunately, we don't have that many non-land permanents now. I don't think he has a sweeper, so let's get this out. Let's see if he counters it, actually. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. That out. Any more draw for us, which is good. Okay, he's going to Iceberg our Sire, which is okay. Oh no, he Iceberged that. Interesting. Alright, we can do that. Planetarium's pretty good. We want to kind of prevent the Ugin from firing off. He's going through his deck pretty good here. Turn each non-land, non-permanent token. Okay. Is he going to do anything with this? Regent. Okay, he's going to bounce it. Attack in. Okay, we can put everything back to their hands. And we could draw 2 cards. Mirrorform. No, not that. Okay, we're going to return each non-land permanent back to their hand, and we're going to draw 2 cards. Which is also going to give us this back. Allow us to scry and draw. Aetherize is an interesting one. Hold on here. Did we draw our land? Yeah, we did. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that sucks. Aetherize is not what I want. That's not a bad one. What else can we cast here? We can get the planetarium down, but then he can bounce it. Let's do the Iron Crag into the legend. Draw a card. We'll just do it that way. We're looking for our Ugins, really. I think we just want to save that for the planetarium. All right, they're going to be casting a lot of stuff here. I'm expecting River Regent to do bounce both of these. I'm expecting an Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that should tap them out, actually. draw a card. Either that or it'll minus, or get 3. Draw a card. Down to 18. Alright, what are we? 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Can we... 6, 6, and then we could trigger Planetarium. We'll do that. We can cast Planetarium. Okay, we can trigger this. Oop, cancel. Want to do the Pylon. So we surveil. No. Well, that's unfortunate. Guess we scry 2. Gives us a better chance. Decline. Oh, yeah, we should have cast that. That was a mistake. Okay, we got to discard. We're down to 20. They're down to 17. We haven't found our other 3 Ugins yet. Yep.
I will mend this
Okay.
broken world. My plan bears fruit.
It's going to destroy all artifacts. And creatures. Well, let's Planetarium then.
Heed my counsel. We'll put an end to this conflict.
I'm actually glad he wasted that before we had another Sire down. Another Ugin. Okay, we'll cast that. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Belongs to the patient.
That's interesting. Why would he have countered that? That also means we don't have enough land. Well, we can auto pay. No. We'll decline that. I'm gonna try drawing a card.
Fate
Did find our other Sire. I guess we go this route. We could have even went for the planetarium if we wanted to. I'm expecting him to do a bounce again.
My plan bears fruit.
Gonna bounce Ugin. Here's the iceberg. Base 7 life. He didn't get rid of our Ugin. Iceberg the Ugin. Yep.
To persist would be folly.
As we get the Ugin out, we'll destroy the Regent. Could have a counterspell. Okay, they're going to draw 3 cards. They're down to 11. Pull one back. They're up to 12 cards. We have 15. They do have the 11 ability here. Let's do the plus ability. Draw a card. We can bring the Sire out. Destroy that. Keep this one. Do a plus. We're at 13, they're at 12. Discard 2 cards. Discard those 2. They're gonna plus. Okay, so they don't minus. They can't have a whole lot left in their deck though, so.
To possibility.
It lost our Ugin. Alright. That's fine.
A reason to stay and fight.
Day Judgment. Alright. They're at 10. Can get one of these out next turn. Did find another Ugin. I think we just hold on to that for now. Let's get this out. We'll auto pay for that. Kind of like that. We'll cast this just so they can either counter it or sweep it, or they got to have some other removal, I'm guessing. They're just kind of running out of cards here. They're down to 14 cards. That's a 6/6. We'll just hold off on that. to discard a card. Let's discard a Candy Trail. These have been really hard to pull off because they've been getting rid of our Sires like crazy. So next turn we're going to go for the Sire Mirrorform play. Okay, they're not going to go for the Sweeper this time. Do they even have... They can't just have one region, right? I only see one region, so they probably have 3 more in their deck. There's the other one. Okay, what are they going to bounce? Vestige, maybe? Yep. I suppose we can just put our... I don't want to... That's a cast, isn't it? Yeah. Get that into play right away. First strike, Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, Lifelink, Ward. They consult the stars. They still have 3 open mana. 3, 4, 5 open mana. Iceberg, they're going to go after the Sire. Okay. Going to attack us for 6. Okay. All right. What do we got left in our deck here? We got a Vestige, an Archive, 2 Aetherizes. That's about it, huh? And then land. Candy Trail. They only have 4 cards left. River Regent. I mean, Ugin. Or let's do Ugin. Kill the Librarian.
I grant you a... There is clarity.
9, they're down to 4. We can cast the Vestige. Wait, I screwed that up. We'll get rid of that one.
I am the master of this world.
Yeah, we should have had untapped blue mana for this so we can pull the Vestige back. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that either. I think we leave that on top. We can gain 3 life, draw a card.
My plan bears fruit.
We might as well do this. Or we're at 7. Vestige. Yeah, we could leave it there. Discard 2 cards. Well, actually, we're probably going to be discarding those 2. All right. What do you got going in your 7 more cards here? Demolition Field. We'll decline that. We'll decline that. What a crazy mirror match this is. Fairly mirror match. They got some white cards in there, obviously. All right. They only have 2 cards left.
Focus, breathe, and learn.
Oop. Attack in. Six, they're at 2. Could drop that, but they could just sweep it. I think we just hold up a Mirrorform. Let's discard a Planetarium. Nope, they're out of cards. So unless they can cycle their graveyard back into their deck, I think they're hosed. Good game, good game. All right, let's look at this. We do have some early interaction. We do have a little bit of ramp here, as well as surveil. Try to find that land. Cavern of Souls. Do want to get a second blue, obviously. I think we'll continue with the surveil. That's a pretty good one to help ramp us. Pixie. All right. Innkeepers, okay. We can bounce Innkeeper. Just kind of slow him down. That's a good one. Fortunately, we can't do both. Yeah. Eldrazi. Do want to find that land, but we might end up doing that next turn. Let's be mana efficient and get this out. Aetherize might do some work for us, which is good. Especially if they're putting counters on their creatures. We're hoping they play that again. Alright. That's fine. Yep. Oh, we got another Cavern of Souls. Sure. We can do... Iron Crag down. Cast that. Getting another land. Okay. That means we're up to 7 next turn if we want to cast that. Ooh, Shelter. What's he going after? Okay. Shelter. Oh, well, Aetherite is probably becoming our game plan next turn. And we can cast the pool, but I think we're just going to Aetherize. No attacks on turn. Aetherize will get our stuff back. We can do a little more tricking. All right. We're gonna double the counters. Sure. Attack in. They're only attacking in with 1, which is smart, actually. They knew I had any Aetherize. We can Hivepool here. I can attack it for 6. No attacks. I have to drop a Pixie. Are they going to give us an extra turn? Because we could find removal. They are. Mirrorform. We don't want to tap out. Mirrorform ain't going to do anything. No attacks. End turn. They are playing really defensively here. Okay, we need to find our Seasons of Weaving. That's going to be our way around this, I think. We didn't find it. That's a shame. All right, opponent goes first in this one. 3 land. We have our Changeling, Iron Crag. We'll keep it. We got the ramp we're kind of looking for. We can get the Sire down and then Mirrorform it. That'll be good too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it. All right. We want to get to that Ugin probably sooner than later if we're playing against Kithkin. They're going to be a pretty quick deck. With them being on the play, we're probably in trouble. We got to get an Aetherize or some other trick. Hivepool, I think, is going to be our secondary plan at this point. Pick one. All right, we got the ramp going to Ugin if we want to. I gotta think they have removal, which they can just pay 7 life to get this, so that isn't as good as you think it is, or a person would think it is. So you can just throw a Get Lost at it. Get that down. Means Ugin is alive next turn. Ooh, Johnny. At least it doesn't have haste. We can gain life, fortunately. We can cast multiple things as well here. Let's do that. Let's see here. They can pump that up. Whenever another creature you control enters, that gets a plus. And I think a Johnny is 1. One, two, three, 4. I think we still have to do this, unfortunately. We do have a blocker then, which is nice. I think we let them sink mana into that. Take action. Find a land. All right. Now we can look for the Hivepool. Okay. Doesn't have haste. They only have 1 card left. Okay, they're attacking with both. Let's see here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're not going to have enough mana to cast this and do the ward cost. I think we just do a block. Because they also could do a pump here, which could hose us. Okay. Okay, that's much better. Let's get the pylon down. We could surveil. See what we got. Looks like they might start roping us. No. Okay. They don't have any counters. We're not too worried about that. All right. Well, first things first. Let's drop this. Well, not here. Let's go after that one.
I grant you a boon.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we are still 1 short, aren't we? I think we still do this. Try to keep this small as possible. Oh, we do have 2 untapped. And they can pump into this. 3 to make it a 4/5. And then they could end up killing. Yeah, that's probably the target. They would have to have removal as well if that's the case. We'll see what they do. If they don't remove our Sire, we can Mirrorform it. Okay. That doesn't do a whole lot, unless they have removal. Okay, they don't have removal. Well, I don't want to attack. Yeah, I guess it has first strike. Oh, we have another Sire. But I think this is the play. Another Archive into play. Oh. We can destroy that guy. We can pay for that. I mean, we could also cast the Sire. But I kind of want to go for Mirrorform here. Alright. So we're going to Mirrorform the Sire and make this pretty much impossible for them. They could have a sweeper, though. Changeling? Okay. Okay, they got nothing. Watch this Mirrorform. This is going to be pretty funny. Ah, oh, bummer. We didn't even get a chance to Mirrorform. All right, go first. Got the ramp. Let's keep it. Want to draw one more island here to really start going. I need 2 more land to get the 7. All right, we got the other island. We're just going to get this down to Eldrazi right away. The Iron Crag down. Playing against a Goblin deck. Aetherize, unauthorized exits are both going to be strong. It does take a couple turns for this thing to fire up, so it will be really handy for us to build up our stuff as well. Okay, Bogart. I do expect them to have removal for the Sire. Alright, we got 7 mana next turn. Alright. We'll drop the Sire. Like I said, I'm expecting them to have removal. Something to be said for waiting, but their creatures are already starting to get big. They're going to take 7 damage. That's dodge. Okay. Okay, guess they don't have removal. Okay, we can actually... I mean, this has first strike, so Death Touch doesn't really matter. Let's just do this. Get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unfortunately, we don't have anything available. Maybe we'll just wait a turn before attacking. Oh, it has vigilance. Never mind. We can attack it.
Focus, breathe, and learn.
All right, this game's pretty much sealed at this point. They have to have like a bitter triumph for the Ugin, and then have a removal spell for Sire that does take up their turn. We can Aetherize. We have card draw. 4, 5, 6, 7. This does give them multiple if they get this down, which is nice. Anything that triggers like this, I don't like to keep around. Can't get rid of this, obviously, because it has the colorless, at least not with Ugin. I can get rid of it with our bounce. Seasons of Weaving or unauthorized exit, if that's what we want to do. Which actually would be funny if they put the Blight 1/1 and then I unauthorized exit the banner. Alright, we're just getting roped, I think. That's some salty rope there. Alright, he does cast it. It's funny, he roped it out and then he kept playing. Alright. Alright, we can keep up Aetherize, or we can Sire. I guess we actually can do both if we do the... Yeah, first let's just attack in. As Trample. Let's do this so we can Sire. And we're going to go after his one that can get damage dealt. We still have Aetherize up. This is kind of nasty. Not that he's going to actually attack in. Oh, he's got another banner. Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana for both. Okay. Well, let's do... how do we want to handle this? We can get rid of that and kill that one off. But they can just cast it again. I think we just get rid of this. Allows us to scry as well. We still didn't find what we're looking for. Let's do a plus here. And another Ugin.
Open your mind to possibility.
Put that down. Let's sacrifice. Oh, Vestige. Into Hivepool. So we do 4. To get that, I think we just need to keep that open. You know what? Let's just Vestige. They can go crazy on the attack. We have quite a bit of life. Let's do a Warped Vestige, which allows us to get rid of their biggest creature. I mean, I guess we attack in. They don't have very good blocks, regardless. GG's. All right, we go first. This isn't that great because we don't have any ramp here, so we'll mulligan this. Much better, much better. We'll keep this, drop the Sire, and we got the full ramp into the Ugin here. Now, if they're an aggro deck, we're in trouble. But we'll be able to turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 Ugin, as long as we draw land. But that also means that's 3 turns, we're not doing anything to the opponent. All right, they're tapped. That's really good for us. That's an interesting one, Core. If we wouldn't have had Archive, that would have been a nice draw, but as of right now, we're just kind of ramping out. Because of us being on the play, this is going to be kind of a backbreaker for them, I think. They playing a sack deck? What are you guys playing? What are you playing here? Rest in peace. That doesn't really do anything for us. Or to us, I should say. They could have removal for artifacts, which... Okay, there's a corpse. And we can destroy that. Aetherize is actually kind of a handy one against them. Let's get this out. We'll destroy. we'll do 3, get this out, destroy.
The essence of this world. Power belongs to the patient.
Okay, they get lost our Ugin, which is fine.
This is an unfortunate fate.
Okay, we get rid of our changeling. Do we just do draw? I don't really care to duplicate what we got. I mean, we can duplicate an archive. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, what, 4, 5, 6, 7 anyways? I would just be sacrificing it anyways. So let's do that since we got a turn. That seems pretty good. Let's do that. Get rid of that. Okay. So we got an Ugin next turn. We do have an Aetherize as well. Pinnacle gets rid of 3 of our things. Not that big a deal. Eldrazi. Yes. Get our Iron Crag back. Plus.
Clarity at the center insight is vital to success.
We plus.
The wise heed my advice.
Get this down. Kill that.
I am the master of this world.
Okay. We swept. We can minus the Ugin. Which I think we might. We'll get our hive pools. Yeah, let's do this. We'll minus. This will allow us to get... We'll get one of those. One of those. Get a vestige. Both hive pools. Both of these. Both of these. All of those. And that. Alright, it doesn't really matter what order we do these in because they got nothing to destroy. We'll take a land. Take a land. Plus that.
Knowledge, if my intervention
And we got another Sire.
open your mind.
And I think we just drop a land for the turn. Scry 2 draw. Already got an Aetherize in hand. Sacrifice and draw. I guess we'll just pass the turn. Go back. And then end turn. Three. Okay. What do you got for us? That was a pretty crazy turn. We got another Ugin in hand, so I'm actually okay with that. I'd rather bounce a Hivepool if it comes to that.
Eyes know when.
All right, good game. All right, what a fun deck to play. I gotta say, I really love Mirrorform. Um, I'm still debating whether that's just a win more card in the deck, but man, does that close out games. I can really see this uh, utilizing this on your opponent's creatures to just create a bunch of them and then attack in. So I think there's a couple different uses you can have with this, because remember, each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-aura permanent, which means it can be all of your opponent's permanents as well. So if you think you're playing against even like that synthesizer deck or whatever, the artifact deck, you can just create all suddenly just turn into all your stuff into 11 of those, and then you're just going to kind of go hog wild, especially because you have artifacts in your deck that you can cast. Just crazy ability that you can do with this card. And you can see in this deck, Hivepool you can copy. That was insane. 11 Hivepools I had in play. Otherwise, you can copy all of your Sires, which is awesome because all it can really do is have sweeps against it, or bounce that non-targets, because otherwise they're taking a ton of damage. So all in all, this is a fun deck. Really enjoyed it. The only decks that I really had any problems with were ones that had haste. Haste creatures really kind of hurt when you aetherize them because they can just cast and attack in right away. We don't have a ton of instant speed interaction other than the unauthorized exit. So definitely makes it a little harder. I guess Mirrorform and unauthorized are really the only haste speed interactions that we have, other than when there's the attacking creatures, you can bounce them. So all in all, fun deck. Please hit that subscribe button below. Daily videos, trying to get to 3,000 subs, fairly new channel, so I appreciate you please subbing to the channel, and have a fantastic day.